Hey there, guys and gals. Welcome back to another bite-sized review. Today we'll be taking a look at another animated series, and this is Tangled the series. So this came out in 2017, and it aired its final episode in 2020. And this is a direct sequel to Tangled the movie, which came out in 2010, so quite a while ago. And you guys may or may not know, Tangled is my favorite Disney movie, although Pirates 1 kind of clashes with that. So yeah, it's a constant battle. But anyway, so this is the series. This is not 3D animated, this is 2D. So this is the traditional paper style of animation that many other animated shows are known for. So this did premiere on the Disney Channel. They actually released a TV movie called Before Ever After. So that was the premiere pilot, technically. So that was about an hour, and it basically had a new villain show up and try to take control of the kingdom, and she got foiled. Lady Kane is who I'm talking about. She also showed up in the series later on. But she was she was the first main villain that Rapunzel fought after Gothel got dusted. Anyway, this is a direct continuation, so there is a lot of carryover from the movie. The only real difference is that it's not 3D. The art style is kind of simple at first. It's very kind of overly like, what's the word? I'm trying to word this. It's very you know what? I can't find a word. But it's very unique. It's definitely a series that I would watch again. In fact, I have watched several episodes again. I just because I love the look of it. It's very different. I watch many animated shows, but this one's style is different. I will say it's different from the other ones, which is good. You don't want it to be the same. But the story is pretty simple. We have the king and queen who are now given speaking roles, and they now have, the ability to actually be in their daughter's life again. So Rapunzel is taken back to the kingdom of Corona, and so she feels like she's trapped still. She's not forced, she's obligated to be a princess. So she has, royal duties and such, and she will be the future queen. And so that's going on. But really, all she wants to do is to leave the castle, leave the wall, and try to find who she is. And that is the story at first, at least at first. So season 1 is pretty lighthearted. There's not a ton of action. Well, I should say there's not a ton of like direct action. It's more just like little adventures. But there is some story. There are some two-parter episodes, such as Queen for a Day. That really shows like the serious side of the story. And so in season 1, about halfway through, we meet one of Flynn's old friends called Lance Strongbow, and he's played by James Monroe Iglehart, and he is one of the new characters in the show, as is Cassandra, who is Rapunzel's lady-in-waiting and her bodyguard, because, there's villains everywhere. And so Eden Espinosa plays her, and she is just amazing. And we also have another new character, Varian, who is the Royal Alchemist, and he is played by Jeremy Jordan. And yeah, he's great as well. In the first episode, he plays a big role. He is the first major person that Rapunzel meets. And he tries to figure out why her hair is back. And that whole fiasco happened in the pilot movie. So her hair's back. There's a reason for that. It's because there's a new destiny, a new prophecy. And so that gets started by the appearance of these strange spiky rocks. And so that is what the season 1 is mainly about. She's trying to figure out how to get her hair back to brown and to get these spiky rocks out of here. And so that's season 1. Season 2 is much more dark. It's much more action-packed. which is why it's my favorite. And it's a very weird season. There's island adventures. There's like these mermaids. There is these weird fish people. Um, there's a lot that goes on in season 2. We even meet Hook Hand again. So there's a lot of great stuff. And so season 2 is all about Rapunzel and her friends going to the Dark Kingdom, which is where they think that they can, get rid of her hair and stop this prophecy. And so a lot of other villains show up. The Brotherhood is one of them. That they're like the main threat in season 2. They try to protect the kingdom from outsiders. So that's season 2. Season 3 is the most dark. We find out the true villain is Zontiri, who is this ancient evil demon beast thing, and she is just horrifying. And yeah, she's the one who's causing all this trouble. And so she tries to manipulate Cass to turn against Rapunzel, and then all these other villains start showing up. There's a new Flint Rider that shows up. And like, it's just so weird, but it works. And season 3 is the most out there season. And I feel like the show kind of ended a little bit abruptly, especially season 3. It felt a little rushed. That is kind of my one complaint. But they defeat Zontiri, send her away, or no, I think they kill her. I don't. Yeah, pretty sure. They don't say that, but you know. Still, I think Zontiri is a great villain. What's really cool is that they do tie the movie and the series together by having flashbacks with Gothel, who is once again voiced by Donna Murphy, who is great, once again, and just as twisted and cruel as ever. And it's cool. We find out a lot more about Gothel, why she did what she did, and she was actually a member of this. There is this character called Lord Demanitus, who is this really wise hero, and so he was trying to stop Zontiri, and so she was a member of his group, and so she turned against him, and she became evil, and so that was a whole thing. And yeah, it's a great series. We also get Adira, who is another awesome character. Basically, this series introduces so many awesome characters, like left and right. And yeah, it's great. We even return to the tower for one episode where Pascal runs away because he thinks Rapunzel is neglecting him. And we see the return of the tower. And that was cool. And I also like that Cassandra was kind of turned against Rapunzel, and it was kind of like this jealousy thing where she wanted to be a warrior and she was ignored because Rapunzel gets all the praise. So that was an interesting story. And at the end, I found it really cool how Cassandra kind of left Corona. She wanted to like just leave and find out who she's supposed to be. So that made sense. Eugene is back, Flynn Rider, amazing as always. Zachary Levi, great. He gets some awesome moments. I think his best episode is Flynn Poster, which is in season 3 near the end, and it's when the new Flynn Rider shows up. He gets so jealous. It's so great. And once again, Mandy Moore is the voice of Rapunzel, and she's kind of different here. She's not the naive, eager girl she was in Tangled the movie. She's definitely different. The development is different. She's a little more mature, more wiser, much more skilled. She's not as brash, not as I guess she is definitely much more collected, more calm, more understanding, which is great. But she is also very bubbly, very sweet, very kind, very energetic at times. So she's still the same character. She's just a little bit different. So I like that. It's a change for the better. There's a lot of action, especially in season 2. Season 1, it's mostly little tiny adventures, which I like because it kind of slowly gets you into the story as season 1 goes on. We get to see a lot more of the kingdom, which we didn't get to see in the movie that much. It was a little bit quick, but in the series, because it's a slow moving story, we get to see a lot more of the kingdom, a lot more of the other kingdoms, a lot more of the other areas, like the more of the forest, other characters like there is a villain called the Baron, and he has a history with Flynn Rider. Obviously, Eugene isn't him anymore, so that was interesting. He has a daughter named Stallion who tries to marry Flynn, and that was crazy. Um, and I like the new characters. There's another new character, Hookfoot, who is Hookhand's brother. That was cool to see him, and we also get a lot more of the pub thugs, which is great. Um, the music is phenomenal, of course. Um, the theme song was great. There's a lot of songs. Speaking of songs, wow, I have never heard that this many songs in a series, and they're all fantastic. My favorite song is from season two. It's from the Beyond the Corona Walls. I want to say part one and two. I'm pretty sure that's the season two premiere, and that my favorite song is Next Stop Anywhere. That it's just so beautiful. You gotta hear it for yourself. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it is great. I think the best part about this series is the character moments. There are so many characters, and somehow it juggles the returning faces that we know, and somehow it brings in the new characters, and it kind of like merges them together. So I really like Lance Strongbow, for example, who is one of Eugene's best friends, and he is just this wisecracking thief, and he fits in perfectly, and it's just great. His dynamic with Eugene is great, and Cassandra's dynamic with Rapunzel is great. In fact, Rapunzel has probably the best chemistry of any character. She just can like you put her with anyone, and it just works. At least for me. So that was great. Because she's the main character, you kind of want that. My favorite episode of the series is in season one, actually. It's season 1, episode 4. It's Challenge of the Brave. This is the one where Cassandra tries to enter the contest, and then Rapunzel enters it just for fun. And it turns into this wild, just awesome competition. It's great. And I love the design of the characters. It's so medieval. I love it. And yet it's also kind of modern, especially with the way everyone talks, which I think is cool. And I love the art style. It's just so interesting. It's so cool to me. I think that's probably the biggest strength is the story and the art style. And also the voice acting is absolutely amazing from everyone. Even the new faces are great. So honestly, I would recommend Tangled the series if you're a fan of the movie and you want something more. You should definitely check out the series. It's on Disney Plus. It did air on Disney Channel, and it is worth your time, especially if you want more Rapunzel. You will get a lot of it, and you will get a lot of surprises. So, yeah, I was actually recommended this to me by my best friend who is a big Tangled fan, and I had never watched it before last year, which is kind of a shame. The reason why is because I never knew it was a thing. Well, I guess I knew it was a thing. I never had the chance to watch it, I guess. I did see the movie beforehand, not the Tangled movie, the TV movie, Before Ever After. So I'm glad I watched the whole thing because it's this big, huge story, which I was not expecting that. And what is perfect about the series is at the very end, it links up directly with Tangled Ever After, which is the last thing to come out of Tangled. So, yeah, that's like the little 6-minute short. So that was interesting. The whole Tangled franchise is on Disney Plus if you're interested. And give this series a watch. If you're a fan of animation, you will really like this. It's got great comedy, great action, great dialogue, and it's just a great show. Definitely recommend. It gets a 10 out of 10. I have no real complaints. Let me know if you've seen Tangled the series. I may do some other videos in the future on this show because there's so much to talk about. But until then, I will see you later. Thanks for watching this, and stay tuned for more. I will see you then. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.